Yes, yes, you're rocking with the best. You are now rocking with the greatest. It's the Koopa, it's the Mark. Go ahead, subscribe and like if you like what I do here. We're talking, we're walking, we're jopping. I don't know what that word means, but here in Glen, what we're doing on the side quest day is quite an important side quest. Because if you've been following the playthrough, we're all soloing this game, and in Dragon Quest you need, well, not need, but need the master classes, and you need to be able to train on skill points to be able to get the master classes, right? So today we're basically just doing the master class quest. I'm gonna fight a pretty hard boss that I do fail at. And then at the end, I got a little gift for you guys, because we're going to fight another hard boss that I fail at. But this one, we will beat. It's going to take a little bit of time, but that's okay, because I'm prepared. And yeah, before we do that, we have to complete this quest over here. This is a very early quest, because if you reach the level cap, then you basically can't, gain any more progression, from killing enemies or experience or whatever, right? So if you reach the level cap and you don't want to switch classes, I would say do this quest as soon as possible. This one allows you to train on your skill points. So you'll gain, I forget what the fuck the currency is called, but I think it's called stamps. You gain stamps when you kill enemies instead of experience points. When you get enough stamps, the vocation priest will just give you another skill point. Essentially how that goes. If you are in the trial version, very important quest to do, because when you're in the trial version and you haven't paid, you get capped at level 80. So, if you still want to grow a little bit, do this guy pretty early on. And then, yeah, you can't do master quests in the, in the trial version. Well, not master, you can't unlock the 2 master classes, essentially. Because you need 100, like I said, in the 2 basic vocations. Now you can get those 2 basic vocations to very high levels so that when you do pay for the game, you can then, unlock the other shit. But I'm getting a little off topic here. Today we're just kind of randomly snowballing. I'm auditioning for life because I'm poor. So hopefully somebody watches this video. I have been thinking a lot about content creation and streaming, and although I do love yapping and speaking, having it on a live format does sound very, very pleasing to me. Because of the state of my laptop, the whole poor thing, is the reason why I have to play shitty games like this. So I think what we will do, so that I'll be able to actually stream, is that I'll probably just play some old RPGs that I used to play. If you could tell by the channel, I am a bit of a Dreamcast kid. Mostly because I've always liked RPGs. This has always kind of been my genre. But one of the first ones I played that I really, really fell in love with was on the GameCube. Good old Evolution Worlds. Got a little playthrough of it up at the channel, which I will probably never finish. It's one of those things like people who read books. They never want to finish the book because, like, if they finish the book, it's over. So I don't know. Maybe one day when I get really popular, I'll try and do it again. But the deep lore with the Evolution Worlds playthrough and why it is not finished is because the audio got messed up, and I didn't want to re-record what I had already recorded to fix the audio. And then eventually I lost the footage. But yeah, I had stupidly saved over where I had gone, and I'm like, the audio is fucked on this. It is unusable. So yeah, it was just kind of like a whoopsie sad moment. But I mean, the audio wasn't very good on any of those parts in the first place, so I don't know, maybe I was just being a pedantic bitch. Also, I recognized early on when I started this channel that I wasn't really serious about making a statement or anything. I was just kind of going for it, just kind of throwing my head out there, like, yeah, this is kind of fun, so I guess I'll do it. But now I feel like I have value to add, like some conceited jerk. Especially since most people don't play this game. Most people don't play this game. I haven't seen a playthrough like this out, so I like doing things like that. I like filling a hole that is not there. Hopefully if I do that here, I can fulfill a hole that is gone in my life. Truly, truly, truly. But over here, I get a little lost. I'm gonna be real. I had to fight an enemy in this area, and they just so happen to be in the exact areas I was not looking. So I do love the traveling in Dragon Quest, so I hope you guys just enjoy me, you know, riding on a dragon. We're gonna fight a dragon, you know, plenty of dragoning in this episode. We are dragging them nuts all over the face of YouTube. But yeah, go ahead and subscribe if you want to see me live stream more, because I have been thinking about that. I do like that. I'd say one of the main reasons I don't is because of the computer, also because I have a roommate that I feel like wouldn't appreciate if I was yapping all the time. But honestly, at this point, I'm kind of like, who cares? You know, living with me is already pretty bad, so might as well make it worse, right? I'm not further into the hole. We can. How deep does rabbit hole go? You know. And that's the one thing about bad things in people's lives. Like, for some reason, people think when something bad happens, or when they have like an addiction, or you know, when like a worst case scenario comes on or something, they think there's nowhere to go but up from there. But I feel like we can always go lower. We can. And I feel like, in fact, you should try to go as low as possible. Like, you have no idea how fun it is to reach that level cap and then realize, fuck this shit, I'm going back to level 1. But having all the experience from reaching the level cap, it feels good to me. I don't know why. Like, I recently used to have long dreads. I recently just cut off all my hair. And it feels good, right? It feels good to just start over. I also, you know, I'm chill because I have hair that grows really fast. And also, this is just my opinion kind of thing, but like, appearances are for other people. Like, how often times a day do you actually look at yourself and your face and how it looks? It's all for other people. So I mean, of course I like how I look with longer hair. Doesn't matter though, because, you know, I wasn't really taking care of it. I didn't really like how, you know, the styles were forming up. You know, people were saying I was quote unquote unhealthy. So, you know, if everybody's complaining about it, might as well change it. You know, who cares? So I just chopped it all off. It was also because, you know, it's for other people. Like, sure, I like it, but it has no bearing on really my my opinion, you know? Especially since I'm not attached to anyone relationship-wise. So, you know, there's really no reason to keep the appearance consistent. You know, I'm not even attached to this channel appearance wise, you know, because I don't show my face on here, and that will most likely change eventually. I have my face on one of these episodes here. I can't remember. It's one of the early ones, but I do want a visual element eventually, so I'm thinking the PNG tuber to VTuber pipeline is where I'm going. We have some design elements here, and I do like the idea of being one of these unsuccessful gooner streamers that nobody watches. I love the idea of that. I mean, that's pretty much what I already am right now. So, yeah, male VTuber, I'm ready to go. You know, don't worry, guys, I'm not getting tits. We may have a model with tits, though. The first one won't have tits, though. Because, you know, I do like money, and that would give me money. I'm not gonna say like I sound the most masculine and it would never work. You know, I don't know. I don't know. So, of course, we're gonna try it all. You know, try one, try all. But I do have a couple of good ideas, a couple of good concepts for where I want to go with this. And yeah, I think streaming is a good next step. Content creation has become a little bit of a second nature to me at this point, just because it's something I like doing, and I feel like, you know, you gotta grow it. You gotta build on it a little bit. I'm not saying you gotta do some crazy shit, right? But anything you get good at, I'd say endeavor to make that a little bit better. You know, just build on it slowly. That's what really pleases me, and what has kept me on this earth for as long as I am here. There's these wonderful 29 years. You know, it's a slow build, and I kind of bring this into anything in life. A lot of people may not like that, you know, when I bring it into certain aspects of life. I know folks that just don't really appreciate growth, or appreciate evolution, or appreciate anyone doing anything differently, or slowly changing into something that may not wholly benefit them implicitly, you know? And it's a funny thing. It's a funny thing when you know you have gifts and you just kind of don't want to give them to some people. Because I do always start out with the kindness. I start out with the, ooh, you're so amazing. But, you know, I gotta be, you know, chill in myself eventually. And I have a very antisocial nature. So, in order to fit into the social landscape, I kind of gotta do a little peacocky. But then I look like the weirdo when I start changing up on people. I mean, like, it is what it is, man. I'm not gonna come in here and be like, you look fat. I do have friends like that, and I love them. But me personally, it's my nature to just, you know, make everybody comfortable at first, and then once I get comfortable with you, you know, you're fucking invisible to me now. I do that a lot with asking for help or mentorship, you know? It's a pipeline for me to never have to talk to you ever again. And that's basically every time I ask for help. Yeah. It's a pipeline so that I don't need you. Because I don't want to need you, because I don't want to need anybody. I don't want anybody to need me. I don't want to be wanted. I just kind of want to exist and create my craft and do my thing. And you know, the weird thing about this mind state for me is that I do fucking love working. I love repetition, I love locking in, and I love helping people. Which is why I didn't really want to do this until I knew it would help people. And I still don't know if it is. Who knows if it really is, but I know who it is helping. It's helping me. Especially since now I'm unemployed. Like, what the fuck am I supposed to do, man? Like, I have to find time to do things that I don't want to do, you know, ergo editing, you know, production, you know, YouTube tags or whatever, all that bullshit, you know, typing on computers. You know, I have to fill it in time with stuff I don't want to do, so that the time that I fill with stuff I do want to do, ergo playing this fucking game, I do actually like working out and dancing too. So, you know, all those things, right? They actually feel more like gratifying, like I get more dopamine from them because I'm not just doing them all the time, you know? But yeah, I do like working. So, like I said, unemployed, but I have an interview next week, so we'll see how that goes. I'm going to be a receptionist, so I can just kind of sit there and tell people to either go away or go in. And, you know, just keep sitting there. You know, perhaps even have my laptop there to do nefarious things. But yeah, that's the end of this quest. We were fighting some Togers. We got the horn. We're all horny. What the fuck we get? I don't know. And so now we have skill points now. We can train. We can train. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Anyways, that is the prerequisite for this boss. And like I said, it is a dragon. We will get fucked up here because it's not easy. But as we go in, I'll go ahead and explain a little bit about my main team for the solo quest, right? So essentially, the best classes in the game are the ones that are the most versatile, in my opinion. The ones you can just kind of like keep in for any battle, and you just kind of like switch the tactics on your companions, and you know you can still basically do the whole thing, right? So what we have here is we have our Death Master that I'm playing as, and then we have a Druid on my New Game Plus account. This we're about like 7.3, 7.2 now. An area on this account. And I have Baby here playing the Dancer. So essentially we have Dancer because, you know, Baby is just not very strong. Let's be real. I didn't, you know, grind him up to be crazy powerful because he's the one who's actually going to be doing version 3 for us. So I don't want you to be too strong, little baby, because I want to, you know, struggle a little bit. I like to, you know, make this a little interesting for you guys. Since we are filming this, we got to make it a little fun. And so I like Dancer because not only can he multi-revive, but, you know, you can just buff the other people. And yeah, Druid and Deathmaster both have summons that they utilize. And the reason why you want a Druid and a Deathmaster, not like 2 Druids or 2 Deathmasters, is because they overlap the summons. So if you have 2 Deathmasters, they can't both have summons out unless it's like an 8-player battle or something, right? So in my humble opinion, these are the 3 best classes in the game. We have the D team. And that's what I'm gonna beat the boss with. Right now, before we actually beat the boss, I'm gonna try it with this subpar team of a priest and our Earthbound character. What is that? Sham Hatwitch? Mr. Saturn, that's what they're called. Yeah. I tried it with this. They don't have full reincarnations on this pet. And the priest is pretty low, high level, honestly. The low of the high, essentially. I had to level the priest quite a bit to even get it to you know, use the wand even. So that's pretty freaking funny. But yes, that's the team we're gonna be using to beat this. This team is okay. So you see, we'll do pretty okay here. But the main issue is when baby, not baby, but baby dies. I usually can't get revived by Shammy quick enough because they're just not fast, quick on the feet, quick on the hairs. So it goes okay, and I'll show you the fight. But essentially, we need to switch both a new game plus character to Druid, and Shammy's gonna go to Healy, so we can just get the full reincarnations on there. I do fully feel that when Shammy gets full reincarnations on there, he's gonna be a beast. This is the first time I have used the Sham Hat Witch in this game as well for this playthrough. I've seen it before. I do a lot of research on this game on YouTube, by the way. Most of it Japanese, but one of my amazing English streamers that I watch, Dookie, he uses a chamois, and I learned most of my chamois techniques from that guy. He has a very cool pet. And so, you know, I'm learning the ways. You know, go ahead, check him out, Dookie03. I don't know if I'll link him in this episode, but I might. So yeah, so essentially we're just gonna ring the bell and start the fight, and that's basically gonna be the rest of this video. As well as the extra boss that I'm gonna show as well, that is actually stronger than this one, and that will completely wipe us in like 2 seconds. But that's just for like a funny ending thing. Okay, so I really don't have too much of a podcast, you know, episode today. We're just kind of doing like side stuff. I know this is going to be like a little bit of a longer one, but I don't know. I really have too much shit to talk about. I just kind of wanted to, you know, talk about the general bullshit of life, you know, the general craziness of life. What could we chat about here today? Oh wow, I keep going back and forth between the damn things. That's hilarious. It's hilarious. I always have these crazy. I'm looking through my notes right now. I always have these crazy takes that, you know, just go in insane ways about the darkness of life. Honestly, I don't know if it's me or my YouTube, you know, feed or, you know, whatever, but I feel like a lot of stuff is just really pessimistic nowadays, or it may just be the way I view it. But yeah, and so a lot of my notes are just very sad, and I feel like this has been a pretty happy episode so far. You know, I kind of don't jump in with the angst, anger, and hate automatically. When I don't have a topic already on the head. You know, I kind of woke up head empty today. I did want to record something. I just didn't know what, you know, I didn't know what. I honestly opened up my folder. I was like, I don't even know what I have in here to record. I have no idea. And then luckily we had this. So, you know, it's hard to think of what to say, and it is hard to play this fucking game, as you will clearly see. We're not going to get wiped too fast. We will get wiped pretty fast. And then after this, it's so funny. After this, I literally was like, I'm so sad, I'm going to take a nap. So I took a nap, and then I came back, and then I started recording again, and then we beat it with the right party. But I was very sad because I thought I was gonna do it, man. I thought I was, you know, like, I don't know why I get that feeling in me sometimes when I lose to a boss or something in a game. I'm just like, I just have to stop. Maybe that's me. I know a lot of people like breaking things. Not a fan. I'm like, I'm probably gonna use this later, so I don't want to break anything. I don't even like to move around a lot, you know, for anger reasons. I think a lot of people in real life can kind of... Oh, that was my alarm. It vibrated the phone. I was standing up my phone against the microphone so I could read something. And then my alarm went off. It is 6 a.m. 6 a.m. Oh, right when I like to record these, you know, bright in the morning. This will probably be when I stream, if I actually stream, so I hope that's not weird for some American viewers. Maybe you're on the correct hemisphere, you can catch these at night. Who knows? Who fucking knows? But that's when the house is empty, so that's when I feel the most comfortable. Maybe next year I'll have my own place, or have roommates that don't mind me being a fucking weirdo. Or maybe I'll just not mind being a weirdo around my roommates. Who knows? Nevertheless, we'll figure it out day by day, and I think this is a great way to figure it out. You know, you just gotta talk it out, talk through most issues. Most issues can be talked through. And with the meta of life, people don't realize that, like, real battles, real fights don't really have a winner. They just have understanding, you know? Every other fight that people have that, like, has a winner and a loser, really not a fight, you know? It's really just like a dick stroking competition, you know? Whose dick can get stroked the hardest, you know? Who's gonna coom? I don't know. It's weird. It's weird, you know? In life, people don't really try to come to conclusions. You know, to reach a consensus. They just kind of, you know, here's what I say the truth is, and why you should believe me. And then when that doesn't work out, and then someone else comes over here and he's like, okay, so here's what the truth is, but I have a different reason for why you should believe me. And then the other person over here is like, yeah, what he said. I'm like, bro, you had a completely different, but it's not even related to, okay. So, whatever, man. My technique in this battle is to just fucking survive. He's gonna one-shot, like, everyone because he's crazy. And you want to stay away from him in general and other party members because he has a lot of AoE. Like this yell thing, and then he's got the bomb light or whatever it's called. Hellfire Howl as well. Yeah, he has a lot of AoE, so stay away from party, stay away from dragon, and then divine immortality just gives you goddess grace, so you revive when you die. I throw that on a lot of people, and then we sort of just, you know, do the natural things. We death boost to get nice little knight to be powerful, strong and powerful. I believe they also get a couple new moves when you release them that they probably never use. The AI is dumb. Okay. The AI is dumb. I'm retarded. Okay. That is a thing, though. I like to think I'm retarded because that just means I have so much room to grow. And honestly, I value nothing in this world except for getting better. That's the only thing that really matters to me. Because people notice it, whether they realize it or not. And I find that hilarious. I find that hilarious that some people like actively try, you know, maybe even unconsciously to downplay someone's progress. All the time, daily, weekly, monthly, secondly. Is that a thing? Can you do things secondly? I don't know. But yeah, that's clearly a thing, especially when, you know, you have someone who maybe doesn't even want to acknowledge that they're that good. You know, you'll have people in their circle, in their realm, they'll be like, yeah, you're not, you got to get better. And I'm over here like, I know how good I am, but I'd rather you never know. Or, you know, even if you think you know, I'd rather you not know, essentially, because goddamn, people are just, you know, a little weird. A little disgusting when it comes to exploitation, and it's very easy to do for someone who naturally comes in with kindness and has a problem changing his behaviors. I don't really now. I can change my behaviors now. The thing is, with people, you gotta realize nothing really matters too much. There are two different worlds that we have to deal with, you know. There's the world of the mental and the world of the physical. We're not even getting to the spirit, you know, because that's something that people, you know, some people don't even really believe exists. So, you know, definitely though, the body, the mental, these are definitely here, you know, and you have to realize it's gonna be a scary thought. But no one else's thoughts matter but yours, you know, because you're not hearing anybody else's. So yeah, It's very easy for me to control mine now that I've realized that. You know, this isn't Heroes. You know, this isn't an anime. This isn't some bullshit. You can't really know what people are thinking. Now, I know what all girls are thinking because all girls are thinking what other girls are thinking. So it's like a hive mind thing. It's fairly clear. And then, you know, you can say the same thing with feminine men. You know, they're just kind of like hive mind gooners. It's not too complicated. But, you know, for most complex beings, and we're also talking about high quality feminine men and high quality females, and I even hate, you know, deriving them in that nature, you know, like we're talking about people like SSRs now, which is disgusting. But you know, it's general how it is. People always have a choice of where they want to be, what progression they even want to take in their life. So yes, of course some people aren't going to do the work. It just seems like nowadays nobody wants to do the work. You know, that's a crazy statement, right? Yeah, it really does seem that way. It really does seem like that sometimes. That damn, does anybody want to try anymore? And then you see the people that are quote unquote trying, and it's like, are you trying? I'm very into VTubers nowadays. I watch a lot of them because, you know, I didn't used to watch like females online at all, you know, unless it was like porn. But a lot of VTubers don't do that, and I'm like, you know what? I feel like I just kind of need to connect with the opposite gender a little bit, maybe. I like to talk to them, but even someone who has had a lot of experience with women will tell you that intellectually combating them really doesn't come out in your favor a lot. So, you know, just talking to women in real life, it's really not fun a lot of the time. But, you know, I'm noticing, and it's kind of like this BoJack Horseman dilemma, you know, I'm noticing that, you know, the animated women are the realest motherfuckers online nowadays, and that's a crazy statement. But it makes a lot of sense to me, because BoJack Horseman was a really real show for cartoons to me back when I watched it. It kind of changed my idea of what art and creating cartoons could be, you know, because I thought that was kind of like a Japanese anime thing where they put feelings in shows, and, you know, American shit was just Family Guy. But, yeah, watching VTubers taught me that, you know, Americans can have feelings that aren't just hate, horny, and humor. You know, although a lot of VTubers are very funny, I feel like if you're just good at talking to people, you should probably be a little funny. You should probably be a little funny. You know, like you're probably like 90% funny. Like, come on, man. Come on, man. Because humor is how you like grab attention. That's why so many girls love it. Like, humor is like the attention magnet. If you have humor, everyone's gonna look at you. They're gonna look at you. They're gonna look at you. They're gonna... And then you add the pretty face onto it, and you're like, well, you're fucked. Well, you're fucked. Well, you're not fucked, but, you know, you fucked. Okay, let me stop. But you get what I'm saying. It's very hard to ignore a very funny, attractive, exuberant, expressive individual. So yeah, I've noticed a lot of times, you know, the female streamers, you know, when they're smart, humorous, they're always going to really be successful. But the thing about that is, the girls who are already beautiful in real life, they didn't really try as much. You know, there's really not much need to, really. There's no real desire or effort that has to be put into the personality aspect of it, because, I mean, there's a big old pair of tits there. So, you know, guys are gonna show up. People will be there. But a lot of guys don't really get the VTuber scene, because, you know, a lot of these people just kind of didn't want to show their face, to not sort of like nerf themselves, but for a little bit of privacy reasons mostly. And that's just created an ecosystem of people, you know, being built up by other things, you know, ergo sometimes art, sometimes goons, sometimes humor, but there are now, like, you know, people that I actually watched intellectually who are females, which didn't actually happen a lot. You know, I fucking watched Casey Tron back in the day, but I will tell you 100% that wasn't for intellectual reasons. But yeah, you know, there's just funny lol cows like that I would watch, or like goon cows or whatever. You know, of course the ecosystem hasn't really changed. It's just like metified. Like there's just more options now. And yeah, I will say that just means it's a little bit easier to do. It's a little bit easier to stream, I would say. It's a little bit easier to actively find a community, lock in, relax, play a couple video games. You know, you can turn it into a passion thing, and it can be very easy to do. And if you're not worried about the money, it's going to come, and it's going to come hard and fast, and when you don't expect it. Especially if you're consistent and you love what you do. You know, it's clearly easy to see who loves what they do, and who doesn't. To me, at least, you know, it's just clear as day to say. You know, I don't know what to say. But at the same time, I'm gonna talk about a little bit of a VTuber situation. So it is the 10th now. We did get a situation where it's just straight up kind of like how would you describe this? Kind of like boomer bullying, kind of like effort bullying. It's weird, right? So I am not against blocking people. I am not against, you know, discourse on stream. I'm not against that. I actually think, you know, the drama, the clips, they drive viewers, and as long as it's wholesome, as long as there's, you know, opinions and thoughts being provoked, I have no problem with that. But you know, the whole oh shit, streaming is so easy opinion came up again, and Deme chimed in on it. Another cool streamer. I do like the streamers with the D's in their name. You know, it was a good letter. Right? So, you know, they've been streaming for a while. Good old indie. I've watched a couple of their clips. They do a little bit of the goon clips, a little bit of the funny clips, good energy. Great model. A lot of time and effort went into making them who they are today. So, you know, they got clout, right? Now, the problem with the Deme situation, and I 110% respect blocking, like I said. Blocking is so okay. I block people all the time. Sometimes when you don't want to talk to people ever again, you just block them. But there's an etiquette to blocking people, just like there's an etiquette to slamming the door on someone's face when they come to your house and say some stupid shit. Right? Now, what is the etiquette with that, right? What is the etiquette for blocking? Well, when you block someone, that literally means that you do not talk to them, they do not talk to you. You know, you are out of each other's lives. So I'd say if you really wanted to talk about it on stream, maybe wait to block them, maybe respond to them. You know, that's the first part, whatever. The second part is, it's Twitter, so they did not even talk to you. You know, like, that's the thing. It wasn't like a DM. It wasn't like, this is a public message board that responded to with an opinion. You know, on your public message. Now it was a dog shit take. I mean, I'm not gonna say it was a good take. They were saying, you know, streaming is hard because, you know, you got like you got your big corpo, and you got to edit, you got this, you got this, you got this. It's whatever. You know, content is hard. I get it. It's not for everybody. The reason why I think it's a dog shit take is because Deme is, you know, not any of those. And even on top of that, we're kind of just talking about streaming, and it just feels a little whiny to me, you know. But even still, it didn't feel like it was like talking about Deme specifically in the tweet, and in my eyes, it didn't even like feel like it was a very antagonistic or attacking tweet. And I'd say even before Deme started dragging her on Twitter, it was just kind of like, it was just kind of bad-mannered, at least, you know, to quote-unquote talk about it on Twitter without actually responding to the person. It feels like you're actively trying to steal clout from a smaller person. Not maybe steal, but like not give. Because you do have to realize Deme responding to a tweet like her, you know, directly would give her some clout. Deme has a lot of shit, and this person who attacked her, or, you know, not even really attacked her, this person who gave their fucking opinion, is not as big. You know, so they have the right to be like, hey, this is hard for me because I'm not making millions of fucking dollars. You know, they have the right to do that. Of course. You know? And like I said, it wasn't really like even an attack on them. Essentially. So they drag them on Twitter, they go on stream, they drag them on stream, and they started talking about them like they were Cinder on stream. Now, bro, we all know the Cinder drama. I talked about that a couple videos back. It was bad. Super fake, super evil, super mean, right? This person did a super neutral tweet. One super neutral tweet, you know? That really didn't move the needle anywhere. It was just kind of like spitting facts about what they see, you know? And it wasn't even stating things in you know, gray area. It was kind of like, or I'm sorry, a black and white area. It was kind of like a gray thing, because I believe at the end they said, you know, it is hard if, you know, blah blah blah, you know, it could be hard, you know, but that's just my opinion. I believe they said at the end or whatever. So it's literally the most softball thing, and then they just like crash out. And I once again, I love the energy of Deme. But you know, she may have not been trying to seem like a bully, but just the way she is, it very seems like just online internet bullying, you know? It's sad. It's sad. Sadly, the higher, you know, your platform is, the more attention you see, you know, people are just kind of going to look at you more and judge you more harshly. And that's why nobody's really judging the smaller lady harshly. We're just all going at Deme, quote unquote. Like I said here, you know, she did do bad, stupid things, but I'm not promoting going over to her channel or harassing her or anything like that. If you want to do anything in response to what I'm saying here, God, I have no idea who this other streamer was, but, you know, you should probably go to them and, you know, follow their stream, help them out, you know, say some kind words. If you want to do anything. I'd say the best response to any online discourse is just watch some videos, have an opinion, maybe talk about it with your friends who also likes VTubers, and move the fuck on. Like, stop being so involved in the internet. Please. It's not worth it. Unless you're actually creating art or content. Like you gotta realize, you know, VTweeters and all this shit, you can have that, but it's a different world. It's not your life. You can't act like that is your life. You know, the real world needs you. I'm sorry to say that bullshit. If you're in America, you really hate that fact. But, yeah, the world needs you. There's no way it's gonna run without us working for it. Especially with all these migrants gone. We're gonna have to start taking these shit jobs, guys. And they ain't gonna pay us more. So, it is what it is. Like I said, it's not a really problem for me. I like working. You know, I enjoy working. I enjoy just grinding in, locking in. Now, what I don't like is people. I don't like high school relationships. I don't like socializing. So that's why I tend to be unemployed at strange summers like this. Because, you know, eventually people just get tired of me. I get tired of people. And then, you know, I don't want to deal with the bullshit anymore. And I just leave. And yeah, it's cool. Everybody's different. Everybody's different in life. You know, maybe I'll change that eventually. Maybe I will endeavor to be a different person at one point and attach myself to one being, multiple beings. You know, grow a JRPG party. But you know, I've been feeling the solo quest lately, clearly. And you know, I'm not gonna say it's not working out, but I think I'm on a pathway to make it work out. And that's all I need. You know, shit may be bad now, but as long as I can figure it out eventually, I'm cool. I'm chilling. You know, life is long, guys. You know, I'm still like in the first half, essentially. I feel like I'm still in the tutorial, if I'm being real. If I'm being really real. But when you see people like Deme, she may be in the tutorial too, but it's just because of the platform they have that they get a lot more responsibility, which is why I'm so glad nobody watches these. Oh god, I'm so glad. Because like, god damn, man, it's just so bad. Like, you could even like do nothing and so people just get a giant hate mob on you. I don't want to like, you know, do a WoW server or do like a hardcore Dragon Quest X server or whatever, and then, you know, people crash out on me because I had to leave the party because, you know, there was some crazy shit going. Like, I don't want to do that. You know, it's just people are just rude to people. For seemingly no reason. You know, if your ideals just clash with theirs, they're just gonna be mean to you. And yeah, thick skin is certainly needed, but it's just kind of fucked up, you know? It's kind of fucked up. You have so much power when you do shit like that. You know, you got so much power over your your mob. And when I tell you, these big streamers cannot really get away from having a mob. Like, unless you're someone like Giga, who strictly like monitors and hones in on her chat and you know, moderates and makes them behave. And on top of that, Giga does not earn that much money in the super chats. I mean, she may earn money elsewhere, but you know, she do not be getting the super chats if you watch her streams. So like, there are sacrifices to like having a community that is civil. People like to be stupid, idiot, hate mob gooners and have hive minds and have someone that they can look up to and not think about anything, but just have their opinion. People love that, and you're not gonna get that here because I'm not gonna give you one strict opinion. And if I do, I'm probably gonna just show you, hey, I'm biased or whatever, you know, and this is it. But I like to make people think and form their own things, because I feel like that's where the value in life is gonna come from. Like, if we have more critical thinkers, that's only gonna promote more critical thinking for the future, for the youth. And I feel like that's what we need in life, especially now. Like, there are so many times when I'm working in a facility, you know, food, retail, medical, and I just think, man, if this coworker of mine had more critical thinking skills, this would be so fucking great. Man, if this customer had more critical thinking skills, this would be so fucking great, right? People don't observe. People don't, you know, shift perspectives and see it from someone else's opinion. Like one thing that I loved that we did back in college in debate class was, you know, you would have two different sides of an opinion, right? And then you would be like, okay, you have this opinion, you have this opinion. Okay, switch opinions and now debate. You know, you go to this side and now you go to that side, and now you have to swap opinions from what you actually believe, and now you have to debate each other. Because people don't have that ability to actually switch perspectives and think of something from another way, and then now you know the strength of what you don't like so that you can kind of target that, right? So you talk about something like online bullying and you just randomly call someone Cinder. That lacks critical thinking to me. That lacks critical, because like, you're being a Cinder right now by online bullying people. You're just, you know, being more forthcoming about it, quote unquote, on stream, but your Gooner audience doesn't get it, you know, and Cinder's Gooner audience doesn't get it either, you know. They think she's the most wonderful person in the world. But you're not gonna see it that way when you're in that perspective. It's just so weird how, you know, we don't want to actually think about this in life, you know. And I think it is a choice, but I don't think it's a bad thing if more people are promoting that choice to bring it in more. And of course, it is just gonna make you more depressed. I'm not gonna hide that fact from you guys. If you think more, you will be more depressed. I'm not gonna hide that fact from you. But it will help you understand yourself if you want to do that. You know, some people just don't want to get themselves, and I understand that. If you're an extroverted person, why would you need to? You have other people because you're extroverted, and you're always going to have other people because you're extroverted. You're probably talking to someone right now while you're watching this video, Mr. Extroverted person. So who cares if you don't have critical thinking skills? Other people can do it for you. Right. And people choose to live that way, and I'm not downing people who choose to live that way. It's just when you have a huge platform, more people are going to come at you because of your stupid opinions that you did not think about. And no, it is not a stupid opinion that streaming is easy. That is actually a very nuanced opinion. It's a stupid opinion to block people and then start talking shit about them. And that's a stupid opinion. You know, to think that is okay, it is not okay. It is not okay. You know, and if you do, you know, I'm glad she at least didn't, like... Actually, oh god, I think she did dox her. Start looking at her stream or whatever. That was so it's just so fucking weird how people think this shit is okay on Twitch now. This is why I don't want to stream on there anymore, man. It really is just like an angry, hate-filled platform. Hate and horny. And sometimes funny, I guess. And yeah, Twitch doesn't care. Twitch actively leans into the horny. You know, I remember the Justin TV days, man. When we played video games. Strictly. They would slap your ass off for not playing video games. But now the best game on Twitch is just chatting. And yeah, a lot of people love the a lot of people love the pools, hot tubs, and ASMR. Yeah, that's just a way it goes. You know, I don't think Deme will be doing this. if it didn't get her a lot of views, if it didn't get her a lot of super chats while she was doing it. You know, people love to watch it. I love to talk about it. So, you know, it's just not really downplaying the grind, because, you know, we all got to do it. You got to make money some way. But ethically, I feel like there's a conversation that needs to be had about the fact that you know, stopping people from having a voice, you know, just because they may have some dog shit take, is not how we promote critical thinking. You don't want people to think, sure, but don't act like you do. Definitely don't act like you do. I think Deme has one of those streams where she definitely doesn't want people to think, you know? She wants people to laugh, enjoy, maybe get a little horny, maybe yoink the hog a little bit, you know, definitely lurk. Definitely lurk while you're doing that. Don't be weird, guys. But, you know, that's not the community she wants to promote. She just wants to have a happy, fun, go lucky stream, which is cool. You can have whatever environment you want in there. But I think for this other person, people are people. Anime is anime, but people are people. And it is an opinion that this shit can be fucking hard. There are times I want to get up and do this, and I don't want to fucking get up and do this. Just like I said before in this episode. Like if this wasn't hard in some way, I probably wouldn't like it. Like, if this was just super easy, if I could just, like, AI everything and then click a button and stream, there's an automatic Magic Koopa streamer making reaction videos, uploading it, like, I wouldn't fucking like it. So, yeah, of course it's hard, but for the people who do this, and do this for a living, and do this for a long time, we choose that hard, and we choose the hard so much that we love it, and then it doesn't seem hard. So I think that's kind of what Gimu! Alright. I think that's what Deme was kind of going for. But yeah, there is etiquette to blocking, man. And I think, you know, sure, if they were DMing each other and she said this directly to her and said that you have a thing, then sure. But like crashing out like that and then talking shit, like no. I've blocked people before, and in my etiquette with blocking, I usually just block people on like social media, or I haven't really blocked too many numbers because people don't really text me too much. But I always wait until they respond to me, they talk directly to me, and then they say something I don't like, and then I try to block as quickly as possible after that message. Especially because, like, if you don't want to talk to them, it's because blocking is about sending a message. Blocking is about sending the last message, essentially, right? And Deme did not send the last message. She sent the last message and then said, now I'm gonna drag your ass. I'm going to kill you and drag you across the floor to body bag and then call my chat to stick pitchforks at your ass. It's fucked, man. Yeah, I really don't know what this fucking streamer is. I mean, I guess I could look her up real quick here on my phone. I don't care. I'll probably just do it in editing or something if I care enough. But I probably don't, so... I'm sorry, your model is probably amazing, but I don't watch you. I've watched Deme once. Maybe twice. I don't really show up to Twitch streams anymore. She has a good channel, though. I will say that. She's like very, very goodly edited clips and shit. So, yeah. And we've unlocked the Guardians because, once again, we've defeated this asshole boss, which is crazy. That took a while, huh? Took a while. A lot of shit spewing we did there. Once again, I love me some Deme. Very cool. I hope she learns. You know, I hope critical thinking occurs. And yeah, some crazy shit do be going on. I feel like this drama is more entertaining to me too, because, you know, it involves pretty things, pretty art. You know, a lot of cool video games and artists and things like that, you know. But yeah, let me know if you like me talking about more VTuber stuff. I'll do it later more. I think you guys do. My Cinder videos actually got pretty popular. It was like 10 views or something like the first day, which is weird. I do love you all for stopping by. We got over 35 people in the crew now, in the Koopa gang. Go and subscribe if you'd love to see more. This is the Tatsunaga boss. I think he's like level 133, and he's gonna fuck us up. Yeah, baby. But yeah, that's about all I got for today. I hope you guys have enjoyed this little one. This little episode that we've done here. We quite had a long time, a long discussion, right? But I'd say, just remember, guys, be yourself. You know, understand who that is, and do your best to, you know, help other people understand who they are, and do their own thing as well. All right? All right. Subscribe, and I will see you next time I die.